Hey everybody, what's up? Tim here with this week's SCE. Hope wherever you are doing phenomenal and crushing it, having an awesome day, and thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it and hope that you find a ton of benefit in these clips that we're putting out. So the title for today's shoot is How to Act As If. Now, acting as if is a principle that is super powerful, and what the idea of act as if says is that if you want to become something or do something, you in essence should try to figure out how would you look, how would you act, how would you think, how would you feel if you were already in that position. So if you wanted to be CEO of a company, how would you act, dress, talk, think, decide if you were already in that spot? And by doing that and practicing that, you're actually wiring your subconscious mind to fulfill that role. And then your brain is going to look for a way to get you there, and it's going to speed up the process. So by acting as if you have something before you have it, it actually accelerates the process. It gets you to behave in a way that's consistent with that, and it literally pulls you towards your goal exponentially quicker. I think acting as if is one of the highest expressions of faith we can have. So about 25 years ago, I came home from college and I had a heck of a problem. I was super overweight. I weighed like 250 pounds and had a 46-inch waist, and I just put a ton of weight on from my undergrad. So I was trying to think, how in the world can I get in shape? And I always saw these road bike racers, like Tour de France kind of guys, in these super sleek outfits and on these bikes, and I thought, these guys are just tremendous. They're super fit. I'm going to go into cycling. So I bought the bike and I bought all the stuff, and I'll never forget, I threw all my cycling stuff on and I stood in front of the mirror and looked at myself, and I looked like a giant Hershey kiss. I was totally out of shape. My jersey color was purple and I just didn't look like a bike rider at all. But I had this picture inside my mind. And as I developed that picture and grew it, I started to eat like racers ate. I started to ride like they rode. I started to train, and little by little by little, got to the point where I actually was pretty okay on a road bike. And the reason for that was I acted as if I was a bike racer long before I was a bike racer. It literally pulled me into the hobby and into the sport of cycling. So how do you act as if? How do you execute on that? Well, there's three primary things that you and I can do that really accelerate the act as if process. So number one, whenever you want something, you gotta ask yourself, what emotion am I trying to experience? So when I wanted to become a road bike racer, I wanted to experience feeling fit, feeling confident, feeling attractive, a whole bunch of things. So what emotion are you looking to get out of things? Because typically everything that we want ultimately is to create an emotion in us. Even if we want a lot of money, it's typically rooted in wanting security or wanting freedom or whatever the case is. So you gotta figure out, what is the emotion I'm looking for? Second thing then is to look into your past and say, when have I experienced that emotion? So if you're looking for confidence and security, when have you been confident? When have you felt secure? And then in your quiet time, go back to those experiences and practice those emotions. And what did I feel like in that situation? What did I feel like when I was super confident? What was I doing? And just practice the feeling of confidence. And then throughout the day, go back to that and allow yourself to experience that feeling of confidence. Because the more you experience that feeling of confidence from your past, the more you're going to feel confident throughout the day, and the more situations you can look back and feel confident. You can literally spend about 5 to 10 minutes going back to those situations and visualizing them and just absolutely relishing in that experience and relive it and feel that confidence and let it consume you, whatever it is, whether it's feeling freedom or confidence or excited or optimistic, or even if it was a big promotion or you want more money, when did money come in? How did you feel? And repeat that feeling again and again and again, because as you experience those feelings, it increases your belief, it increases your faith, it allows you to replicate that, and that just turns up the volume on acting as if faith and belief, and it serves as a magnet to attract the things you're looking for. And then finally, the third way to act as if is to say, how would I make decisions? How would I show up if I were already in that situation, like we talked about? So if I was the CEO of that company, or if I was a millionaire, or if I had the person that I wanted to marry, or if I was an athlete, or if I was a writer or a musician, or I was a better business person, or I got that promotion, how would I feel? How would I show up? How would I dress? And then begin to do those things, because that's the roadmap, that's the blueprint. And that actually is acting as if, right? And put yourself in those positions, role play. Fake it until you make it, a lot of people say. So literally act the part. And if you don't want to act the part in public, act the part in private or in your car. Just spend about 5 to 10 minutes a day acting as if you were already there. And the more you can do that, the more powerful it's going to be. So you, number one, want to identify the emotions. What are they? Number 2, look in your past and say, when have I experienced these emotions? And then allow yourself to relive those again and again and again, over and over and over. And then number 3, if I was already who I want to be, what would I say? What would I do? How would I act? How would I think? How would I feel? And then do those things. Even if you have to put on a bit of a charade, if you do it and you're consistent at it and your words and your thoughts align, you're going to become that person. And the interesting thing is we become what we want to be before we get it. Let me say that again because that's super important. We become what we want to be before we get it, because it's about who we become on the inside that then shows up on the outside. We don't get things and become them. We become them and then we get there. So how you act as if is doing those 3 things we talk about. What's the emotion? When have I experienced it before? Practice that. And then how would I act, think, talk, behave as if I was already the person I want to be, and then start to do that and practice that day in and day out, and you'll find yourself accelerating toward the very goal you want to get to. And it worked for me in cycling. I've used it a lot. I've used it to this day, and it is super effective. So that's how I act as if. Hope it's helpful to you. Have an awesome day, and I'll talk to you soon. Act as if. Talk to you. Bye-bye.